Council General Guidelines 2008, Chapter 1, Short Title, Commencement, etc. Applicable to all members of Institute. Chapter 2, Conduct of Member being an employee, shall exercise due diligence and shall not be grossly negligent. Chapter 3, Omitted. Chapter 4, also omitted. Chapter 5, Maintenance of Books of Accounts, CA in practice of firm. Proper books of accounts including the following: maintain and keep proper books of accounts including cash book, ledger. Chapter 6, Tax audit assignments under Section 44AB of Income Tax Act 1961. Not accept more than specified number of tax audit assignments. Partner of firm is also a partner of any other firm or firms. Tax audit assignments not exceed specified number of tax audit assignments in aggregate. Audits conducted under Section 44AD, 44ADA, 44AE not be taken into account, not be taken into specified number of tax audit assignments. 60 tax audit assignments per partner in the firm in a financial year. One partner can individually sign all tax audit assignments in case remaining partners are not signing any tax audit reports. Audit of head office and branch officers shall be regarded as one tax audit assignments. One or more branches of same concern by one chartered accountant in practice constitute as only one tax audit assignment. CA being part-time practicing partner not be taken into account. Chapter 7, Appointment of auditor in case of non-payment of undisputed fees. CA in practice not accept the appointment in case of undisputed audit fees not been paid. SIC unit shall not apply for above provision. SIC unit means registered at least for 5 years, which has accumulated losses more than or equal to entire net worth. Chapter 8, Specified number of audit assignments. Shall not hold more than specified number of audit assignments of a company. 30 audit assignments of private company or other companies with exception of one-person company and dormant company. Chapter 9, Appointment of statutory auditor. Shall not accept appointment as statutory auditor of public sector undertakings, government company, listed companies and other public companies having turnover of 50 crore or more, where he accepts any work on a remuneration which in total exceeds the fee payable for carrying out statutory audit. Other works or services or assignments include management consultancy and all other professional services, but shall not include audit under any other statute, certification work, representation before an authority. Chapter 10, Appointment of auditor when he is indebted to a concern. CA in practice or CA firm, partner of a firm in practice or a firm or a relative, not accept appointment as auditor while indebted or given any guarantee for limits fixed in statute and other cases for amounts exceeding rupees 1 lakh. Received audit fees on progressive basis, not be held guilty of misconduct. Chapter 11, Directions in case of unjustified removal of auditors. Follow the directions given by council not to accept appointment in case of unjustified removal of earlier auditors. Chapter 13, Guidance on tenders. CA in practice not respond to any tender in areas of service exclusively reserved for CAs. Restriction not be applicable where minimum fees is prescribed in tender document or areas open to other professionals along with chartered accountants. Chapter 14, Unique Document Identification Guidelines, UDIN Guidelines. UDIN mandatory for all kinds of certificates, GST, tax audit reports. CA in practice shall generate UDIN for all certification, GST, tax audit reports, other audit assurance and attestation functions. Chapter 15, Guidelines for networking. Firms frequently form larger structures with other firms and entities. Firms share a common brand name, common system of quality control. Share common ownership, control or management. Share common quality control policies. share a common business strategy, share the use of common brand name. Professional services include common systems to exchange client data, billing and time records, partners and staff, technical departments, audit methodology or audit manuals, training courses and facilities. Forms of network: mutual entity, partnership firm, limited liability partnership, company for management consultancy services, consist of sole practitioner or proprietor, allowed to join only one network. Firms having common partners shall join only one network. Approval of name of network. Distinct name, the words and affiliates shall be used after the name, and co or associate shall not be used. Institute shall approve or reject the name of network to and intimate not later than 30 days. Registration of network within entities in India. After name is approved, reserve such name for 3 months. Network get itself registered within 3 months. Registration mandatory. Change of constitution of registered network. Communicate within 30 days from the date of change in constitution. Ethical compliance. One firm, statutory auditor or associate shall not accept internal or bookkeeping or other such professional assignments. Ceiling on non-audit fees. For a network firm who is doing statutory audit, same as mentioned. For other firms collectively shall be 3 times of fees payable. Rotation of firms. No firm of network can accept in place of any member firm of the network which is retiring. May advertise network to the extent permitted by advertisement guidelines. Permitted to use words network firms. Framework of internal bylaws of network may contain following clauses: appointment of managing committee, administration of network, meet the cost of administration, identifying a partner responsible for assignment, dispute settlement procedures, training materials, issue of newsletters, databases for different types of assignments, compensation for resources to be drawn, peer review of the member firms. Chapter 16 Logo Guidelines. Guidelines issued in 2023 for using the new CA India logo for CA members prescribes that logo consists of CA letters, blue color with tricolor tick mark. Blue color denotes creativity, innovativeness, knowledge, integrity, trust, truth, stability and depth. Upside down tick mark used by chartered accountants to symbolize the wisdom, value of profession. India is also added in logo. It epitomizes India's connection and commitment to serve the Indian economy in public interest. No alteration of font, color, bold or unbold or size. No changing spacing and dimensions. Color palettes numbers are also given. Do not change the design and colors including white background. Refrain from rotating or tilting the logo clockwise and anti-clockwise. Logo not be shrunk or distorted changing to the original proposition. Members are encouraged to use the new CA India logo on letterheads, visiting cards, websites. A transition time of 1 year has been provided to use existing stationery replacement. This is the correct logo. CA India with this blue tick marks upside down and India. These are the incorrect ones. Do not change the background. Do not rotate. Do not crop. Do not change the colors. Do not rotate. Do not distort. Chapter 17 Guidelines for Corporate Form of Practice. Allow members in practice to hold the office of Managing Director, Whole-Time Director or Manager, engaged exclusively in rendering management consultancy services and other services, retain full certificate of practice besides being Managing Director, Whole-Time Director or Manager of such management consultancy company. No restriction on equity holding of the members. Now coming to recommended self-regulatory measures. Self-regulatory measures are recommendatory. Branch audits conducted by local firms of auditors consisting of less than 10 members. Accounting records of the branches are maintained at the head office. Significant operations are carried out at branch office. Joint audit associating a practicing firm with less than 5 members. Ratio between qualified and unqualified staff, at least one member of every 5 non qualified members of staff. Disclosure of interest by auditors in other firm. Disclosure of payment received for other services. Recommended minimum scale of fees. Institute has issued revised minimum scale of fees for professional assignments. For non-public fees relative size. For non-public interest entities, disclosure is required for 2 consecutive years. Gross annual professional fees represent more than 40% of total fees of firm. For public interest entities, instead of 40, it is 20%. Exemption for applicability in case fees received by firm not exceed 20 lakhs of rupees. The last part of this topic, recent decisions of Ethical Standards Board. Not permissible for CA in practice being statutory auditor to prepare BRSR study to audit clients. He may provide advisory services on the same. It is permissible to be assurance provider to BRSR core. Statutory auditor not engage in compilation engagement as per SRS 4410. Permissible to accept assignment of mystery audit. Mention position as promoter director on portal of the company. CA in practice become professional director of a cooperative bank. Not permit to publish vision or mission statement on letterhead, visiting card or stationery. Not permissible for statutory auditor of a bank to accept assignment of ASM of a customer of the same bank. CA in practice cannot be internal auditor and procurement officer simultaneously. Permissible to charge fees on percentage of utilization amount. Educational institute for certifying amount spent by an educational institute out of grant. Permissible to become member of board of management primary urban. That position is similar to director simpliciter. Professional advice in relation to intellectual property rights is a routine professional work. Internal auditor to acquire or purchase shares of company. CA firm register on Udyog Aadhar, a web portal of Ministry Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. CA in practice may be a non-executive or independent director of a cooperative bank, not involved in any day-to-day activity of the organization. CA in practice being director simpliciter cannot sign ROC forms of company. CA in service allowed to take e-written registration cannot certify the return. CA in practice is a non-executive director of holding company and he or his firm cannot accept statutory auditor of a joint venture which is a subsidiary of this holding company. Which is a joint venture of the holding company. A member may be an equity research advisor but he cannot publish retail report. Can hold credit card of a bank, also the auditor of the bank provided outstanding balance not exceed rupees 1 lakh. Not permitted, CA in practice not permitted to accept audit assignment of a bank. He has taken loan against fixed deposit. Cannot become, CA in practice cannot become financial advisor, receive fees or commission such as mutual funds, insurance companies, NBFCs, etc. Not permissible to take agencies of UTI, GSE or NSDL. Permissible to be a settler of a trust. Cannot hold customs broker license. CA in service appears as tax representative before tax authorities on behalf of his employer, not on behalf of other employees of employer. Appointed as internal auditor of a PF trust by government company, cannot be appointed as its statutory auditor. A concurrent auditor of Bank X cannot be appointed as statutory auditor of Bank Y, which is sponsored by X. Internal auditor of a company can be statutory auditor of Provident Fund of the company. Employees Provident Fund. Ethical Standard Board has stated that non-executive director who is required in the board meetings only and he shall not be paid any remuneration except attending such board meetings.